Good morning, Galaxy. Today on the bounty board, we've got suspicious and delicious slices of key lime pie from Loki episode 2 and a wild multiverse theory on just where James is firing his gun of awesome DC storylines next. So kick up the warp drive and let's punch it.
Let's get it on.
What's going on, everybody? Let's introduce ourselves. My name's MT. This is Whitney, and this is Tommy. What's going on, gang? How was your week?
I'm the one who's Whitney. That's Tommy.
In case you guys were confused.
Just in case.
How's your guys' week in nerddom? You guys enjoy Loki?
What a week.
Oh, dude. I loved Loki. He was so hot this episode, you guys. Sorry, just gotta say it. He was an unbelievable hottie. Like, it was truly God of Mischief, you know, where you're just like, oh, I want him to do terrible, awful things.
Right.
Oh
my. I mean, I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that personally. But like, there were like, what's it called? As soon as like that scene of Loki walking towards the camera happened, I was like, Tumblr's gonna eat this up. Tumblr's gonna make this the GIF of the month. Tom Hiddleston rules Tumblr. I don't 100% understand it, but
Oh no, bro! I'm 100% sure that's like, okay, Swiftie conspiracy theory. Sorry, I am 100% sure that's how he and Taylor Swift got together, because that was during her Red era that they dated, like towards the end of Red. Yeah, Hiddle Swift is a thing. I actually wore my Taylor shirt because I was gonna make a joke about it, but it's just part of the conversation. Hiddle,
I had no
Hiddle
idea.
Swift was a thing, and I personally believe it's because they were both really big on Tumblr during that time period.
Oh.
That would make sense, but they're also very tall. That could also
They are also just like two tall, hot
Factor.
people who are famous. You're right. That's actually probably how they met. They were also both just like supreme Tumblr beings at the time.
They went to great lengths on Loki season 1 and 2 to not make him seem so much taller than everyone else. Like whenever X5 and Owen Wilson are standing near Tom Hiddleston, you can tell there's a solid 6-inch height difference between all of them, I think. I mean, Owen Wilson, I think, is like maybe 5'10", but Tom Hiddleston's got to be like 6'1", right? He's got to be pretty tall.
That's a tall ass dude.
He's got to be. He's a very tall man, and that's why he's so scary. That's why he's so scary, because he's so tall.
Indeed.
He's just a British McDonald's French fry, which is tied into the episode. We're also sponsored by McDonald's. Just kidding, we're not.
MT, I know you and I, we might be, we can appreciate Tom Hiddleston's good looks, but something's got to give in episode 3 coming up this week, because if I don't see Miss Minutes on screen, I'm going to lose it. I am ready.
I've been pretty upset.
I'm about to see if she's being held hostage by Renslayer. No. Like, why has she not appeared? This is like, in my opinion, this is like them finding out that Daredevil didn't put on the costume till episode 4.
Yeah.
And that's why they're doing this. Kevin Feige's gonna come out and be like, my bad, didn't realize we held off till episode 3 or 4 or later. This minute, this is our bad.
I would like to see someone fired over this, but it was a great episode. Great episode. I love so I think like so many interesting questions that I've always had about the sacred timeline, and like Brad Wolf, X5, he goes back, becomes Brad Wolf. Did he kill the other Brad Wolf to take, like, it's like that, like, he makes that line, we have to take back our lives, or we have to take our lives on the timeline.
Right.
So it's like, is there an X5 or is there a Brad Wolf? Brad Wolf doesn't seem sensitive enough to me or X5 doesn't seem compassionate enough to just like knock out the other Brad Wolf and like coexist with him.
No, he had to have murdered him.
He for sure murked him. Yeah, he's
body
gone.
in an alley.
Oh my God, I didn't even consider that for a second. Like, what happened to the other
You're smarter than us, Tommy. I was just like, I was thinking like in like the Rick and Morty way, where it's like, oh, Rick just shows up in that universe where Rick Prime abandoned Beth, and then he becomes her dad, and it's great.
Yeah.
I was thinking that that's what happened with Brad Wolf, where he was like, oh, I found a universe where I can just be a movie star, and the other Brad Wolf isn't here for whatever reason. I did not think about that. This is a true crime.
Yeah.
This is now a true crime podcast. How did Brad Wolf die? Justice for Brad Wolf.
Well, I think for me, I just like it conveniently covers two narratives. One, this is my 5th time talking about episode 2 of Loki this week, so I'm all primed for the points. I've got this episode broken down backwards and
Wow, I
frontwards.
can't believe you're cheating on us with
I
Loki
know,
theories.
I know.
How dare you?
No, I just consider it practice, but also I think my theory was that actor was going to play a killer. Maybe it didn't work out the way it was. I thought this whole season was going to be about them chasing a timeline variant serial killer, but in a way, if he killed his own sacred timeline self, he is a killer.
That could just be the beginning.
Yeah.
The Zaniac Zodiac, baby. Let's go. Let's get Mark Ruffalo on the case.
Zodi Zaniac. No,
Yo.
That's a great transition. We did get some great Easter eggs in this episode of Loki. We really, I mean, I know Whitney, we certainly need to talk about the McDonald's one, but we also got yet another Kingo movie poster Easter egg from the Eternals. We got another Kingo poster, and we got, I think the lore behind the Zaniac movie is a bit of an Easter egg itself from the Marvel comics.
Right.
Has anyone else been just singing, he's a Zaniac on the floor? Like, I've been singing that in my head all weekend. I have not been able to stop.
If that's not like the theme song of that movie, then like cancel Zaniac 2. I don't want to see it.
It's like when Marty McFly like goes back to the past and accidentally, introduces them to music.
Right.
And in this universe, he goes back to his original universe and he introduces the Zaniac version of that song to those people.
Yes.
Like, I honestly truly want to see more Brad Wolf in the MCU. Like, I really hope that X5 survives this season, because that actor, I forget his name, Raphael.
Castle. He's the one. He created He wrote and directed Blind Spotting, right? That was like his big thing.
Oh, word! I know that he was involved with it, but I didn't know that he wrote and directed it.
I'm pretty sure. Shoot. Don't fact check. Or actually, Brett did a great job of fact checking me because I was right last week. So do it again, Brett.
Especially
Brett, fact check it. Oh wait. What if he ends up doing a movie with Kingo? I just thought of that.
Yeah.
What if Brad Wolf and Kingo team up to do like a buddy cop comedy?
I would love to see that movie.
Oh, dude, Kingo and Zaniac doing like a version of like The Nice Guys would be sick. Just like like the Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe movie.
Russell Crowe, yeah.
What's his face? Shane Black directed. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Having Zaniac and Kingo do a reboot of The Nice Guys in universe would be so sick. That's my dream. That's my fantasy, baby.
I'm all about it.
I like it. I think I like that. I think that is I think we should push for that. Or Rush Hour. They should do like a race switched Rush Hour.
Yes. They should start a Fast and Furious franchise. Let's get Tokyo Drift. Let's get Rush Hour.
Yeah. So there were other Easter eggs in there that we have touched on briefly, but I know that there was one that I think really stuck out to certain members of the Palaxy squad, and that is
the McDonald's play place tree, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
She is finally getting the recognition she deserves. Yeah, resurrected. What an egg. Haven't seen her around since the 80s, and I wasn't even born in the 80s. I was born in the 90s, and she was gone by then, but I still fondly remember her from commercials and from photos I've seen. I'm so sorry that I'm being like ageist towards myself right now.
I was born in the wrong era.
I was born in the wrong lifetime. I'm the wrong variant of me to have been friends with that tree.
Well, I was born in the 80s as the oldest member of our Palaxy team, and I will say I was scared of that tree as a boy.
It looks terrifying.
She's
genuinely terrifying.
She's so friendly and joyful looking, but just the concept of a tree having sentient like powers or sentient abilities or characteristics, like a smiling tree, even a kind smile is still kind of scary, right? Because those branches.
What about the tree at the Rainforest Cafe?
Yes.
You ever seen one of those?
I don't like so.
Terrifying.
I'm gonna again age myself. There used to be maybe these lasted into your guys's you goddamn Gen Zers lifetimes, but
I'm a millennial.
Yeah,
MT's the baby here.
Listen, if you're gonna brag about being born in the 90s, then you have to identify as Gen Z when I pigeonhole everyone born in the 90s did that.
It's more embarrassing to identify with the Lena Dunham generation, I
Yes.
assure you.
I try to identify with Lena Dunham in every way. My father does really weird erotic art, and my mother is a rich person for some other unknown reason as well. No, what was I gonna say? There was
I'm so sorry for
no,
interrupting.
that's no problem. Just we're all on this joyous voyage together. Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse. Did any of you guys ever experience a Bugaboo Creek Steakhouse?
No, I
No.
did
No.
not.
Bugaboo-
Pray
Is it good?
tell.
Bugaboo Creek was like Outback Steakhouse, except for that things
yeah.
in the restaurant came alive. There was
Oh shit.
there was like a taxidermied moose who would like start chirping, but the thing that most terrifyingly emulated the Rainforest Cafe is they had a Christmas tree named Douglas Fir. Douglas, because Douglas fir
Oh
is a type of tree.
shit.
And the Christmas tree,
Good tree
the
pun.
Christmas tree was fully alive and would, talk and do things. But there was no rhyme or reason to it. Like they would just spout off at random points. There was no like show. Like Rainforest Cafe, at least it'd start to rain and thunder, and then the animals would
Yeah,
all
they
start.
were on like a timer. They
Yeah.
were on a sked.
The animals would be like chittering and being like, oh, and then the tree would start talking. This was just like randomly a Christmas tree might open its eyes if you're like 4 and like stare at you and be like, hello. So I think scary trees in general, if this last 3 minutes of wandering, rambling, have said anything, I just think I think trees should just shut up and stay in their lane and just be
And do their
trees.
damn job.
Just provide sweet oxygen to the earth.
Now at least we know how exactly to Five Nights at Freddy's Tommy.
That's
We just
right.
Get a bunch of sentient
Yes.
fucking trees.
Slap some googly eyes in a forest.
Happy
and
Halloween, bitch! We just lock him in a room with the McDonald's Play Place tree, the Rainforest Cafe tree, and Douglas Fir. That's Tommy's goddamn nightmare.
I am so excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm rarely excited because it's like kind of like diet horror, right? Like it's not
Mhm.
really, it's not like Conjuring or Mama or one of those types of movies.
Right.
It's like this is like still at the end of the day a Chuck E. Cheese coming to life. So it's like scary for like if you're like a kid, but if you're an adult, it just seems more like funny horror. I'm so excited for this movie. This is gonna probably be the first horror movie that I watch when it comes out in a long time.
Oh hell yeah! Have either of you guys seen Willy's Wonderland, perchance? With
No,
Nicolas
but my
Cage?
my good friend Amalia, who I did improv with forever, is married to the guy who wrote that movie, which obviously,
Dude,
Oh,
it's one
wow.
of my favorite horror movies of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Diet Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yes.
and it's very good. It's incredible.
yes, and Nicolas Cage doesn't speak. He has no lines.
Hmm?
Nicolas Cage does not talk
he-
in
Yeah.
that movie.
No lines. He goes through the entire film without saying a single word, even when he's destroying animatronics.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Wow.
And I'm so
Like,
sorry,
that's
MT.
easy
You've tried to
paycheck.
talk like 4 times, and
Oh, no.
unfortunately, this is what happens when you get into a convo with Whitney and Tommy. We just interrupt each other constantly and go off the rails, and I'm so sorry. That's what our friendship is like.
Oh no, it's totally fine. I can't remember honestly.
Let's get back to Loki. Let's reframe Loki here. So we're 2 episodes in. Pugsley's obviously excited to talk about Loki as well. We're 2 episodes in, and when that with the MCU and with Disney Plus shows, that means that we are a third of the way through the story of Loki season 2. There's still, I thought they were pretty judicious in their trailer releases in terms of spoiling things. Like so far, all of the things from the trailers that have been on, I kind of have felt like they haven't given away too much, and it still feels like there's a lot of surprises to come. But what do you guys? So far? What's been a highlight, and what are we looking forward to for episode 3? For me, it's Miss Minutes. Unironically, I want Renslayer and Miss Minutes because, well, I want them, but I also want them to be back. I also want
Get
them
in line,
to,
bub.
yeah, I know. Well, listen, there's 2 of them. We can share. We can double date, or we can become a quadruple. I'm fine either way.
That's what there are variants for. That's why
You can have
variants.
Renslayer. I'll take the circle. All right.
That's fine.
So
Yeah. Hey.
we can enter ethical, non-monogamous relationships
There
with
you-
them.
there-
That's why
Exactly.
variants exist.
Yes, MT and I going full poly for
Miss Minutes.
for clocks and babes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to them coming back. Obviously, I think we can all agree Ki Kwan has been an incredible addition to the MCU.
Obi the Roby, baby.
Such a freaking amazing man. I hope that he sticks around for the long haul because he's just a very like he's just good vibes. He's just a
Yeah.
good vibes man. He's like, hey guys,
Yeah.
what's going on? I'm like, dude, I just want to give you a hug and talk to you for a
Mhm.
very long time.
Even
But
when he's
no one does
stressed
that,
out, still good vibes. Still good vibes,
right?
even when he's stressed.
He's like, we're all gonna die, but good vibes.
But
Yeah, no, like, yeah, he's definitely a highlight for me, like, major
Yes.
highlight. But honestly, like I said before, X5, bro. Like, I was not expecting to like and hate someone so
Yeah.
much with
Yeah.
X5. And, like, you know, learning more about, like, Zaniac and, like, how he's, like, basically a Thor villain, seeing these two Thor villains go head to head and, like, clash. Like, and that's what I love about Loki. It's just all these villains coming together and clashing, and like you're basically like there's different tiers of villains. Like, all right, Loki used to be the top dog, but like now Loki's good and now he's fighting these other villains. It's just so cool to see that evolution after all this time in the MCU. And like getting super obscure characters, especially in this new saga, we've been getting so many obscure characters. I like that the MCU has been diving into that well of like this weird shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Weirder they go, the harder I fall for them, baby.
That's right.
That's what I like. Let's get weird.
Amen.
Dude, like I this is super random, but like, you know Judge Gamble from episode 1, that super old lady?
Yeah.
No offense to that actress. She's very
Oh yeah,
nice
no
lady.
offense at all. She's incredible.
I really hope that like Loki goes back in time and we see a younger version of her, because like that's supposed to be Professor Gamble from the Marvel Comics, which is a Doctor Who parody, and I love Doctor Who so much. Like I would love to see.
Cool. Yeah,
I would
that'd
love
be
to see her be
awesome.
a doctor type person. Oh
Yes.
my god, it would be so freaking cool. Anyway, sorry.
No,
Continuing on with the show.
I had no idea that was. I didn't know that there was that backstory for that character. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, look, Professor Gamble used to work with the TVA,
Mm.
and like, you know, he used to do his own thing with the TVA, and like it just I've been wanting him to show up after Loki season 1. I was like, yo, we need Professor Gamble, and then they said Judge Gamble. I was like, I'm not exactly happy with this, but we can fix it. We can fix it with time travel.
Yes.
This is why I like being friends with MT, because I genuinely feel like once a conversation, he just blows my mind with a really obscure character reference. Like, I'm
Mhm.
still not over like Mr. Griffin from last week.
No.
Like, this is why I like being friends with you. You teach me things.
MT, I don't want to blow too much smoke in your general direction, but you were the first person that I think I heard on the internet bring up that Griffin connection. So if that ends up being right,
Hooray!
I have to give the MT the Nerdstradamus seal of appreciation on that, because I've heard it since repeated, and I think it's valid. I think a lot of people. It's not like the character didn't exist, but you were on that one, baby. You were on that one.
Hooray!
All right. So overall, I think we can agree the true highlight of Loki episode 2 was those beautiful candied limes on the key lime pie. And
Oh gosh,
I just have
delightful.
one of my like kind of therapeutic relaxation things is there's this TikTok account of a guy who makes candy, and his daughter
Yes.
filmed him, and I just watched that guy whipping up like ribbon candy,
Delights.
candied fruits, candy canes, peanut brittle, whatever
Throwing
he
kids
wants
into a
to.
chocolate river.
Yeah, he is.
It's Willy Wonka.
Yeah, just children getting sucked up a tube of fudge. That's what I like to watch.
Not to make anyone cringe, but he's like Willy Wonka with like zero like maniacal riz. Like he doesn't have any of that. Like
Wow.
he doesn't have any of the menace.
And what's the point of being
Riz.
Willy Wonka?
Maniacal riz. God, I hope that someone describes me as that one day. That's a beautiful.
He's kind of like,
beautiful-
well, he's kind of just like, he's just pleasant, and he makes little jokes because like people are watching him, and he teases them about the candy, but there's no menace to it. Like he's not threatening to like, no one's getting zapped up into the sky into a million pieces. No one's turning into a blueberry. It's all just kind of like, maybe you'll get a sample of ribbon candy, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have to pay for it. Those are like the big questions. But it has inspired me to want to go to a candy shop, or perhaps try to pour some water and sugar into a frying pan and candy some fruits of my own. But Whitney, you actually went out.
Speaking of maniacal
Yeah.
riz, Loki.
You went out and you got yourself a pie.
I did.
Yeah.
I went out to the store the other day and I got myself a little mini key lime pie because I was so inspired. I was texting MT. Granted, I was pretty stoned at the time, but I have what I'd like to call my version of the MTT, which is a mini tiny theory, which is not the Marvel trigger theory, but it's a smaller version of that.
I like that. Mini tiny theory.
I like it.
Mini tiny theory. And this is a really stupid theory. It's a theory about pie. And I just want to give a quick mention to Mediaverse Comics Unwrapped on Twitter because they have an actually good Loki pie theory. And they posted it and like tagged me in it, and I was like, oh, shit, mine is gonna sound so dumb, but I don't care.
Yours is pretty fun. I like your theory.
I like my theory too. Okay, here's what it is. Listen, guys. I think I figured it out. I think that I figured out what timeline Mobius is from, and he is from Florida.
Yeah.
He's a Florida man. And let me tell you why.
The timeline of Florida.
Just the timeline of Florida. Just the batshit crazy world of Florida where everyone's a variant. There isn't a single non-variant in Florida. That's just the reality here, people.
There's no sacred timelines in Florida. There's just
no, the sacred timeline is there's nothing sacred in Florida.
No.
So I believe that everything that we've learned about Mobius so far all points to the direction that he's from Florida.
Yeah.
Because, hear me out, key lime pie originated in Key West, home of the key lime pie. Key West, key lime, low key lime. See, you following me? You guys,
okay,
you guys still with me?
Yeah, I know you're joking about this, Whitney, but I actually think you've explained this further off camera to me. I think this is a sound theory for some other reasons. I was gonna say, like, let's not be too silly about. I think this is a sound theory.
Okay, I think that Mobius has been experiencing tiny moments where he is subconsciously, like, his past self is like sending little subconscious like reminders to him of where he actually comes from, because as we saw in this episode, Mobius is kind of like the only one so far who's like, I don't want to know what's going on in my other life. I don't even want to go there. What if I was really happy? Like, I could deal with it if I was just miserable in a previous life, and now I work for the TVA and I'm best friends with the god of mischief. But if I had like a wife and a bunch of key lime pie, I don't want to know about that because I might get my heart broken. And I think, though, that like his subconscious desires and his Florida-ness is too strong.
Yeah.
And the pull is every single time he's like talked about something. So first of all, jet skis. A lot of jet skis in Florida. I know that they weren't invented in Florida, but hear me out. Biggest jet ski manufacturer and one of the first companies to make jet ski, Kawasaki. If you look at the Kawasaki logo, it is the same colors as a key lime pie.
Oh.
Jet skis, key lime pie. The logo is green and white. That's why this is the mini tiny theory and not the Marvel trigger theory, because I used colors, baby. I used colors to show the world who I am. And I really think that this is like his subconscious, or maybe he loved someone in Florida so much that like that love is still like vibrating to him even though his memory is gone. I think it might be kind of like a little like WandaVision Inception type thing where like he like part of him still remembers his old life. It's just so deep locked away. But I think he's still getting signals from Florida, land of the free, home of the crazy.
Oh my god! Yeah, I agree.
Baby.
Yes, bring the pie. Ooh, look at that.
Yes.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
She brought a prop.
Candied lime, Tommy. Look at the
my god!
detail. Look at the little.
I've never seen a circle pie.
Oh yeah, I just got myself a mini tiny pie for my mini tiny theory because I wanted to also make that joke. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. All right. I will say the like almost translucent candied limes in the show, which were probably fake and not edible, it had some sort of, I don't know, they brought up some memory of like some candied oranges I'd had as a kid or something, because I was like, god damn, those look good. I think I think that Mobius theory actually is very sound. I think I think Moby
Moby.
Are you
and
best friends with
Moby.
Mobius? Moby.
I think
Mobes.
I think
It's
Mobes.
Mobin time.
Yeah, I think the big Mob. I think he might be one of the few people that has requested his memory to be wiped over and over again because of something
Ooh.
traumatic that happened in his life in Florida.
Like Eternal Sunshine, kind of.
Yeah, or yes,
Like,
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah.
I
I
like
think
ooh.
that.
because I mean, there's it's or he knows that the true person that Mobius was not a good person, and the mind wipes have made
Mm.
him, more humane or more whatever kind or whatever however you want to call it. So yeah, I just feel like there's some trauma being blocked out by those mind wipes and that's a big reason he's so resistant to it.
Trauma that only a couple
Ooh.
of bites of the best goddamn
Yeah,
pie there is can
yeah.
heal. There's some wounds that can only be healed with pie, okay?
That certainly does feel true. That key lime pie that you showed kind of acted as an advertisement on this show. We haven't sold any ads yet. We're just getting
We
started, but
haven't.
it's a quick reminder that if you want us to put your pie on our show or your cookies or your, I don't know, whatever you make,
We can
little
put your pie in our
birdhouses.
face, in our
Yeah,
pie holes, and
yeah.
on our show.
We'd be delighted to advertise for you, whether you make pies or fries, or any non-food thing as well. So we've had some DC news this week, but it felt very TMZ gossipy. DC news, a lot of like people's behavior on set. Seems like Aquaman 2 is really getting submarined. No pun intended. It's getting they're trying to shipwreck that movie, but through all of the kind of gossip and rumors, there is some actual news to come out of this for the future of DC. And MT, you actually have a pretty sound theory on where you think this is all headed, and we'd love to get you cooking on that now. Let's preheat the oven and
Let's preheat that
yeah.
empty oven, baby. Let it
Yeah.
cook.
Oh.
I'm brewing. Let's see what I can mix up here, gang.
Once again, talk about maniacal riz, ladies and gentlemen.
That's maniacal October Riz.
Okay, this is just a little shout out to our sweet editor Alexa. Perfect sweet baby. Please
Wow.
title the episode Maniacal Riz.
Maniacal
Yes.
Riz.
Do that
We need
for me,
maniacal Riz
please.
shirts.
Yeah,
So
no kidding.
He Who Remains has a lot of
We
maniacal Riz.
should make maniacal Riz shirts.
That would be great. I would love that, honestly. But no, okay. So an article from I believe it was Variety, came out, basically talking about all that Aquaman drama that we won't really get into in this video. But they also confirmed that all the actors for the Justice League from the Snyderverse will not be coming back into James Gunn's new DCU. But we are still getting, an Amanda Waller. Like Viola Davis is still coming back as Amanda Waller.
Hell yes.
And the gang from Peacemaker is likely coming back for a season 2, which is like the best. I freaking love
Yes.
Peacemaker. And that whole side of the best part of the DCEU is James Gunn. And
The best part of the DCEU was when Peacemaker first came out and MT and I were working on it together. We would wake up every morning and I'd text him and I'd go, "You ready to do the dance?" And
We're
then
doing
from
the dance.
across coast, he lived all the way across the whole country, and from across coast, we would just be like, "Do you really want to taste it?" Like every morning, and it was so fun. And I can't wait to get back to our morning routine. It really was. We'd text each other and go, "You ready to wake up peacefully?"
It's like I'm already feeling like a zombie, so it's like a little bit of a zombie dance that tricks me at into working out and stretching. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I like it. But no, okay. So yeah, so it confirmed that like we're getting this new Justice League, but still keeping some of the old faces. And so a lot of people are confused. They're like, what the hell's going on? They're giving us conflicting reports about, Gal Gadot coming back, but like she's not coming back. Like, what's going on here? I think that there's a very simple explanation for this. And I think it all boils down, and I feel like all this confusion boils down to a lot of people skipping The Flash. A lot of people did not watch The Flash because of one reason or another. And, that movie basically establishes like that the DC is very much running on MCU like multiverse rules. And so that being said, after the ending of The Flash, I feel like there are now 3 main DC universes that are in play here. There's the original Snyderverse that that The Flash came from, And in the middle of that movie, the Flash, by the end of that movie, rather, the Flash goes from the Snyderverse to the George Clooney verse, where George Clooney is Batman. And so that is
Ugh,
universe
the
2.
nipples on that man's suit, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
which was weird because
Just getting hot
he was
thinking
just
about
wearing a
it.
suit to go to court. So it was weird that
They put the nipples on
all of George Clooney's suits have nipples in my mind. Sweet Clooney nips.
Honestly, like that's how you get the judge in your favor. So you make sure the nipples are on the suit, unless they're like, all right, I like this. Just kidding, don't do that. It'll be thrown out. But no, yeah. So by the end of that movie, we see the Flash journey into a completely new universe where, like, he gets his dad exonerated, and George Clooney is Batman. And so that implies to me that, like, that universe has different faces already. So, like, that is the universe where Aquaman 2 is going to be taking place in, and that's going to be the last movie in that Clooneyverse, because James Gunn wants to just move on from the Snyder era anything and just create a new third separate universe that is his new DCU. But like, because it's the multiverse, some same faces can come back in James Gunn's new DCU. So like, we could get Peacemaker back again, we could get Viola Davis back again, and we could potentially see what's it called, Wonder Woman from the Clooneyverse cross over into the new DCU
Sure.
with the new Wonder Woman. So like, I think that's what the plan is for Gal Gadot. I'm just guessing here, because there seems to be a commitment that Gal Gadot has to the DCU still. And I think that because The Flash was this multiverse narrative that basically opened up the floodgates of, like, all right, here's the entire scope of the DC multiverse. Like, you're seeing, the original Superman, like, all in, like, the what's his name, the Nicolas Cage Superman that never came out. Like, it's everything is connected. So like, the new DCU is just an extension of that multiverse. So like, and because it's a variant universe, we're going to get a variant version of Blue Beetle. The same actor is probably going to come on over with the same experiences from the Clooneyverse Blue Beetle, and like have the same exact. It's essentially be the same exact character, but a variant character in a weird way. So basically, it's just like the MCU. You can have different faces, like different variants of like the same Justice League, and you can have the same faces come back, like Viola Davis, and like a lot of the Peacemaker team. So like, it's just, they're all just variants at the end of the day. So so like, basically, moving forward, we're gonna have like 3 main universes, which is the Snyderverse, the Clooneyverse, and the DCU, the new DCU that James Gunn is starting. So I feel like that essentially could make all these casting contradictions make sense if you just like look at it in like a 3 universe theory. Because like, I don't think, because like, obviously Ray Fisher is not going to come back in the role of Cyborg because of his own personal reasons. So like, that Clooneyverse transition at the end of The Flash was meant to be like, all right, it's a new universe, so now we can recast, Ray Fisher or anybody else that we don't really want to be, who don't want to be part of the DCU, or like we don't want to move forward with. So
lest we forget about Twilight Batman.
Oh yeah,
we gotta get Twilight Batman and sexy Selena Kyle back, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point, though. I mean, like, it does feel like the Batman being in Elseworlds. Like, I don't know. I think, talking with people about it, that Batman does seem the least equipped to be like multiversal and deal in a world with like, superpowered aliens and things like that. Although, I mean, that is part of the comics inherently, is Batman does exist where Superman exists and where Martian Manhunter exists and all those other characters. So I think, I wonder if they'll be a little more precious about the Batman in terms of leaving that as its own standalone thing. Also, just to kind of cater to Matt Reeves delivering a successful movie. It's kind of like forcing him to shoehorn that character into the DCU feels like punishment for being one of the few people who has done a DC project in the last 10 years, any kind of justice, no pun intended. So, yeah, I'd like to keep, I hope they keep them separate, but I do feel like eventually there'll be a little payoff with that. I think there will be. Especially if they, I mean, I think what Clayface is heavily rumored to be in the Batman 2. And it's like, if you're going to have Clayface in, then fine. Let him let him meet the Wonder Twins too. Then in that case, why? Who cares? All bets are off.
Why not?
All bets are off.
The form of water.
I just hope they do a Zatanna eventually. I want to see Zatanna on.
Yeah, I feel
Zatanna
like
is
we've been
super
asking
fun,
for
yeah.
Zatanna for a while, man.
She should just be out in Vegas doing like a Vegas show, like a really successful Vegas show.
Yeah, she should have a residency.
Yeah, seriously. And people are like, wow,
Yeah.
she's amazing. Like, how is she so good at this?
She starts off as an opener
Yeah.
for Penn and Teller, but quickly surpasses them. She becomes the next Chris Angel mind freak. Gets her own TV
Oh my
show.
God, could you imagine? Or she's like a paranormal investigator. They're like, wow, she's uncanny.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We should write this script. Zatanna also, my friend was dressed as her for Halloween one year, and it was truly incredible. And by the way, guys, Halloween is coming up.
Yes.
Halloween we're knocking on Halloween's door. October is one of those months that because there's a few like days off mixed in, it just kind of sneaks up on you. And now we're in the back half of October, and I'm still floating costume ideas around. And we were thinking it might be fun to end the episode on some costume ideas for us for maybe our Halloween episode. And maybe give the our pals the options to vote on a costume. I think what's the best way to do this? We're gonna let the fans vote on our Halloween costume. Should we give them options? Should we have them pitch? What should we do?
I would love a little bit of both. I would love to open the door to have them do some pitches. Hell yeah, pitches in the comments, guys, please. I actually swear on my life that this isn't like a ploy to get engagement. This is truly because I don't know what to be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm 32 years old. I'm running out of ideas. Like I've been everything I've wanted to be.
I've never
so far.
actually dressed up for Halloween before in my life because my mom was super religious, and so Halloween was like the devil growing up. So like I never had fun.
So everybody needs to. Everyone needs to focus in on MT's costume here, but I also have some pitches, MT. I would like to see you in a sharp black turtleneck with a gray jacket as Lex Luthor. I'd like to have you.
Yeah.
I'd like to have
Black Lex Luthor. I'm all about it.
I mean,
hell yeah.
He's just Lex to me, MT. But no, I can't. Yeah, I like that. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm halfway to a Ken costume from the opening dance number where they all had white track jackets on. But I think
nice.
Oh, you are. Oh, you're definitely almost all the way there.
I think everybody's gonna be Ken this year though. So I had a couple of ideas. I had a couple of ideas. You know, my beard's getting long and I have a red beard, and as we all know from our classic kids claymation Rankin Bass cartoons, young Santa Claus was a ginger. So I was thinking about maybe doing like a deconstructed Santa, like in like maybe get like a red suit with a white tie and just go around as a young Kris Kringle and hand out candy canes to people just to get people in the mood for
candy canes on Halloween. Just
why not?
It's still candy, bro. It's still fucking candy.
Honestly, why don't people dress up as Christmas characters on Halloween? I feel like that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Jack Skellington tried that once and it went horrible. So I think we all learned a lesson.
We've all
that man's
we've all learned what happens when you cross the streams between Christmas and Halloween. But yeah. So Whitney, do you have anything you're toying around with this year? You and I had talked about being Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Tommy and I have talked about maybe going to a couple parties as Travis and Taylor as a little friendship couples costume. I think that'd be nice because I used to be blonde and he's tall, and that's very close to what Travis and Tay Tay are. So I was thinking that. I'm also so sorry to be such a Swiftie, but my only other costume idea was I thought it'd be fun to dress up as Ketchup and Seemingly Ranch. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was okay. So there was like a photo that went around. I'm sorry. I'm explaining this just in case any of our Marvel fans are not up on Twitter. Mind blowing. But there was this photo that got passed around of Taylor Swift eating a single chicken tender with a side of ketchup and seemingly ranch was what the account tweeted out. And so a bunch of people started making ketchup and seemingly ranch memes. And so I was thinking of going half red, half white. And I actually found like $10 ketchup bottle and ranch bottle earrings on Etsy that I was toying around with
that's
getting.
That's
So that's my pitch, but also I'm very open to suggestions because judging by both of your reactions, I don't think most people are gonna appreciate my dumb obscure.
I mean, like, it's a funny pun. I just didn't know about the ketchup and ranch debacle.
There's so much. The NFL has been completely taken over by Swifties, which I love. That is talk about two perfect circles.
Dude, talk about a fandom crossover.
Talk about two perfect circles of a Venn diagram for me. Two things that I love very much.
Same.
But also the backlash has been so funny because it's like weird NFL dudes who are mostly teenage boys pretending to be older than they are on the internet who just like can't handle like the concept of like an adult relationship. And of course there's the cynicism of like, well, our movie's coming out and he's a pro football player. Is this all, fabricated? I don't care. I love it. It's good for the game. I think let's pair up pop stars and tight ends for every team. Every team.
No. Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen, end it.
Hey, Josh is a quarterback. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Listen.
I need that to be done already. It's been too long. I gave Josh Allen a period of time, and he surpassed.
MT.
I forgot for a minute that MT already has beef with an NFL player and a celebrity. Shit. I forgot.
MT and I are a house divided over this. It is we're keeping our professional lives and our personal opinions separate. I will just say this, MT, I don't think you have to worry too much about that relationship going the distance. Josh seems to be, he's focused. He's focused on the game. I think, as much as I
look at that maniacal riz he has going on right now. That's a maniacal riz if I've ever seen so.
He is without saying anything. I've got some ears to the ground in Buffalo. Try to get some highlights on what's going on with that situation, and it's definitely no Taylor, Jace, or Travis. It's no TT.
But that's because Haley and MT
That's
are
right.
going to be the Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard it here first. I mean, what can I say? It's just.
I guess Josh has been getting kind of jealous that Haley keeps listening to YouTube videos about Loki and Ahsoka.
Exactly.
He's like, why is she always listening to heavy spoilers? Why is she so obsessed with heavy spoilers?
Why is Haley suddenly super into heavy spoilers?
Yeah. All right. Well, so here's what we clearly need. In the comments of this video, yes, we're asking for engagement, but we're also asking for help. Leave some Halloween costume ideas in there, and don't be offensive. Put some costumes that'll be fun to wear. Don't just. If you tell me to dress like someone who's a famous person who's fat, I'm just going to get mad at you. So, give me,
Seriously, don't tell me to dress up like a brown M&M because I'll find you. I will find you.
Don't tell me to only dress in like a weird slutty Slave costume. You can ask that of Tommy because Tommy actually owns that costume.
You go ahead and Google it. You can see me in a variety of Princess Leia outfits. But help us out. Help us help you, pals. How much fun has it been to hang out with you again? We're so appreciative of the reaction to the first episode of Palaxy. Yeah. We're so glad to get our second one out. We only hope to continue growing and delivering our fun and I think very correct theories on a lot of things. And we've got more Loki coming up. We're less than a month away from a new Marvel movie. There's a lot of good stuff coming out here, guys. Stick with us.
Yes,
dude, and Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
Yes, and Rick and Morty season 7.
Another quick little signal boost. You're gonna follow me on Whitney Vision. You're gonna follow MT at Heavy Spoilers for those breakdowns. And also check out Johnny Two Cellos and Awestruck Fox. They are also awesome. You guys are gonna get fed so well. You have all of the best, funniest people covering Rick and Morty. Sorry to brag, but it's true. All my friends are really funny.
Enjoy. Rick and Morty is meant to be examined. It's like one of the most dense, yet hilarious shows. I think over the last 20 years, there's just
Yeah, you need to have an intellectual mind to appreciate Rick and Morty.
Yeah, you basically need to be a man and an
Yeah.
astrophysicist.
I
to
think you
get
also
it.
just need to love McDonald's sauces. You gotta love the Szechuan.
And be willing to
Yeah,
die
you gotta
for
be willing
it.
to die for sauces. I think dying for sauces is how I want to go out of this episode. You guys want to plug your socials?
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
I am at Whitney Puppy everywhere and at Whitney Vision on YouTube.
Yay.
Yay.
And I am at Mastertainment everywhere. And I am on Heavy Spoilers if you guys want to see me
Yeah.
talk about some weird shit.
And I'm at Tommy Bechtold everywhere, and I am relaunching my YouTube channel in early November, so stick around and look for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Let's
Do it. Stick
go.
around.
All right.
Hell
Everybody
yeah.
have a great week. Keep it nerdy.
Yes, we love you.
Keep palling around.
Keep it nerdy. Keep it sweet.
Take
keep
care
it
of your
tight.
pals.
Thanks again for all your
Yeah.
support.
Yes, guard your pals and be
Guard
kind to
your
one another.
pals.
Guard your
Goodbye,
pals.
Palaxy out.
Palaxy, let's go.